G'day everyone, Gooba here with another Torchlight Infinite Overrealm season video. Almost said Outlaw. In this video, I just wanted to go over two of the best starters in the game. They were by far the best last season, and no doubt they will be equally as dominant. Just due to their basic playstyle, yes, some of the things were nerfed. However, given their performance in pretty much every season since they've been out, no doubt they will still be extremely strong starters, and purely because of their speed and ease of gameplay. These two characters are Tide Whisperer Selena. There is no Selena 2, Selena 3. She is a unique character all by herself for now. Bing used to be like that, but next season he's getting a second class. And the other one is Goth Mummy Thea. Now, Goth Mummy Thea is the third Thea in the group. So if you see anyone say Thea3, this is the character that they are talking about. Anyway, now that you know which two characters it is, let's get into the game and see about the build guides. Alrighty, as this is a League Starter video, I will go through the hero rankings, in-game hero ranking. You can just click on the hero that you want to look for and the main skill, which is Mind Control for Thea3. As you can see, at the very end game, you can get some insane damage going. However, it also obviously requires some absolutely insane gear. A very interesting thing about this real quick is one of the new items in the upcoming season can make the negatives into positives. So this item would actually be a +3 blessing stack item. This would be +100 max mana. So, you know, some crazy changes for that. But that is endgame. Let's go back and look at day 3 and check out the league starters that people were smashing through the game with. This is day 3. So yes, they have nice pets there, but their battle pets are pretty basic, and we should be able to get a fair idea of how to play this character through this overview. I will go through and look at some lower tier ones after looking at this, but we'll get there in a minute. So we basically just want resistances and affliction effect. Mind Control is affliction, and it's not erosion damage. So you just want to stack affliction and reap wherever you can, and maximize those stats efficiently. So we have intelligence, gear ES, block ratio, fire res or any res, and affliction effect. On here, you just want a 2 to 3 intelligence roll, false god skin. These can be extremely expensive early, so you just get what you can afford. Dawnbreak with max channel stacks is quite nice. You have fervor with a fixed amount of rating. Onto the rings, again, just max ES, intelligence, affliction effect, and resistances on probably both, because the wind breath convergence is extremely expensive even early on. If you have one of these drop, you're pretty much in the money. And no doubt next season it will be just as expensive because it is max channeled stacks. Onto the weapons. Weapons are extremely important. You want Reap wherever you can get it. Plus skill levels, again, intelligence and affliction effect. The chest. This chest is extremely good early when Reaping Energy Shield starts channeling. So that's extremely good. Pretty much just for that stat there, then you can just get some extra levels there, and the rest is pretty meh. Reap duration is nice, but the rest is kind of low stats for a chest item at least. On the gloves, damage, energy shield, and resistances. King's Boon is getting a kind of buff next season, as I believe the changes involve more reap, but a longer cooldown, so you reap more damage. Basically, you'll just reap a shitload of damage at the start of each enemy, so you'll hit harder at the start versus later on. I think the damage over time taken is changed as well. Onto the skills. So you just go with Mind Control, Cataclysm, Control Spell, Magnificence. For every extra link, or less link, sorry, so you do more damage to bosses. This will be insane, along with the new skill that makes your affliction damage, or I think it's your reaps. Your reaps do AoE damage, so it'll kill off all the little trash a lot faster, and enabling less links, so you do more damage to rares and bosses when they appear. We have Guard and Passivation. Onto the buffs, we have Mana Boil, Blink for mobility, Corruption on Preparation and Terrain of Malice, so it's all around you. Mind Control's also all around you, so these just go well hand in hand. And Arcane Circle for a constant buff effect. Auras, we have Spell Amplification, Erosion Amplification, Corrosion Focus, and Deep Pain. Soul Candles don't exist next season, so we won't bother looking at that. Onto the hero traits, we have Unholy Baptism, Tarnished Sage, and Onset Depravity. The hero memories, just block chance for survivability. You can also go Reap Cooldown Recovery, speed, and affliction effect on those. Intelligence would also be quite nice. Onto the talents. We have damage and movement speed with skill area. Movement speed's great to get on here early, which is fantastic. Damage over time with skill effect, affliction effect with reap and persistence, and additional damage applied to life. We have affliction and forbidden power on there for additional erosion damage. Psychic, we have damage over time, down to affliction effect, and up back to reap cooldown recovery speed with affliction stats there. Over here we have reap purification, additionally settles 25% of the remaining total damage and removes all your damage over time, which you then apply again immediately anyway. Elementalist with max channel stacks, a bit of max ES, and more max channel stacks up the top. Here we have intelligence, as it is the main stat for the skill, and a little bit of elemental res. Onto Lich, we have off the beaten track and affliction effect with some max energy shield charge speed, and gains blur when energy shield starts to charge. If you remember the chest, it is you start charging your energy shield whenever you reap. You're reaping constantly, so you constantly have blur. All skills up the top, and additional damage when having both sealed mana and life. You're an energy shield character, so you'll have both sealed. Onto the slates, full defense. That's where they are utilizing all of that block ratio and stuff like that. So minus additional damage over time taken for every 1% block ratio. The hero memories and stuff are all about that. So that is the purpose for that, with plus max energy agility blessing stacks. Energy shield, reap cooldown recovery speed, energy shield, and additional damage to life. Max channel stacks are extremely important. So if you just focus on max channel stacks, energy shield cannot be interrupted is also good. I guess that is going to be extremely key next season because Barrier of Radiance is no longer on Soul Candles. So that is the gear, the talents, the hero traits, and the pack spirits. We have Swaying Bonnie, Fallen Saintess, and Soul King. Basically, any erosion or reaping cooldown recovery pets that you have will suffice. Do they have... Oh, they already have some Kismet's block ratio for the reduced additional damage over time taken, and some extra stats and resistances in here as well. So I'll just quickly show a bit of gameplay from a previous video on how this character looks, so you get a feel of, you know, what to expect as you're running through the maps. Alrighty, here we have some Thea mind control gameplay from a video I recorded earlier on in SS9. But there is little tentacles coming out and making love to everyone around and just absolutely annihilating everything that comes in contact with. This is a T8 map. It's very safe. You just run around exploding everything. So basically what you're seeing in that video is there's actually some purple tentacles. The skill transparency is turned right down, so you can't actually see it. You can see the damage that's flying around instead. However, as you run around, the tentacles just reach out, touch everything, reap the damage, and explode them as you go around. The damage also goes through walls and stuff, so if you're doing maps with a lot of rooms, then that damage actually reaches through those walls, and you know, it's very powerful in that aspect as well. Let's just go down the list a bit and maybe look at someone that's much lower in damage, just to see if there's anything major that's changed. Again, wind breath, if it's in the left, if it's corroded, it doesn't matter. But most of the stuff is the same. You just got reap, affliction, erosion damage, and stuff like that. Providence, providential grace, tenacity, black stacks and stuff. Twilight vestment's pretty much mandatory for survivability. Erosion skill level, reap cooldown recovery speed, affliction effect. If you're unaware how to search for these well, I guess you could just go down to the trade house, go to advanced, go down to the slates. It was probably a goddess of the knowledge, and then you would go add conditional group. In the conditional group, you would search for reap cooldown. It's obviously not this one. Of course it's not. Let me just quickly check what that was. I thought I was on a roll. So it's got us a deception for affliction and reap. So you're just going to the conditional group, select your reap that you want. So you want additional cooldown, maybe some lesser cooldown as well. Reap's damage over time. And then we could go with affliction effect as well. Go for affliction, whatever you want to add, you just add it. And then up the top you have the search results contain any amount. You may want to if you want a good one. Hit confirm, and then what you're after is a Goddess of the Deception's divinity. If you wanted to go for other stats that are useful, you would go with knowledge. I believe that's where the max channel stacks are. And then you just hit search, and it would search for any slate with any two of these affliction effects. Let's just change that to 1. And there we go. Because it's so late in the season, not really anyone's got stuff up anymore. But that is how you would effectively search for the stats that you would want on your items. You would obviously do it a little bit better and find out what the legendary ones are and go for that. But for absolute league start, you just want to make sure you've got slates with at least one of the stats that you're after. If we go with Goddess of Knowledge, this would be the channel. So there's the max channel stacks. You could either search this way. There's not that many up right now because the game's only up for another hour. Or again, you would just reset that, go into your add conditional group. You would want a minimum of 1. Go up to your channel stacks. Whatever. Add the max channel stacks and maybe whatever else you wanted to damage for channeled skills, just add a few things that you want to add there. You could always go for results contain 2. And there you go. There's one that results in 2. You could change that to just 1 and you would have more results pop up. But anyway, so that is how to search for the slates that you want. And that was Thea, Mind Control for the start. If you're going Yuga 2, it is very similar. His hero traits just work a little bit differently. And it's more about Affliction and Reap. And he's a bit slower than Thea, Mind Control. But I like Yuga 2, so I'm going Yuga 2. Next up, we have Selena. Selena day 3 is insane. There's already a level 99. So this character's, juiced to hell. So maybe we'll go with day 2 for the Selena. Okay, reasonable pack spirits. So this is probably a pretty good guide. And the gear is pretty average and very achievable. So we have Hecate's Vision, which allows you can only cast 1 curse, additional damage to cursed enemies, and additional damage taken from cursed enemies, which is actually amazing. Is that super expensive? It's not, even at this point of the season, so that's a really good item early on. Wow. I've never even considered that helmet, to be honest. Onto the gear. It's all crafted, as you can see, outside of the Vortex Heart, which is where you get Focus Strike. But the gear is Energy Shield, Intelligence, Crit, Resistance. On here we have physical damage to attacks and spells, Energy Shield, Resistance. These look like just slapped together. Energy Shield, damage, crit, resistance. Intelligence, Energy Shield, Resistance, and max channel stacks. Intelligence, damage, resistances, and crit strike. So trying to get 100% crit strike rating. And onto the weapon, we have cold damage to spells, spell damage, main stat, elemental damage, cast speed, and crit strike rating. Flat crit strike rating there, so you can benefit from all of the percentage crit strike ratings elsewhere. Onto the main skills, Howling Gale is the quality of life channeled skill, that Selena uses, with freeze chance, quick decision, guard, grudge, and spell concentration. Buffs, we have Secret Origin Unleash, Frigid Transmission. This is reset when you do cold damage. So it refreshes skill cooldown upon inflicting freeze on an enemy. On Howling Gale, you have freeze chance here. So you're dashing around constantly. It is really quite nice. Biting Cold is the curse. So additional damage on this. Extra additional damage from the helmet. And it is Terrain of Malice. Onto Fixate. Marks the enemies for additional damage. Spell Amplification, Domain Expansion, Frigid Domain, and Weapon Amp. Again, candles are removed. So that is max channel stacks that you're just not going to get next season. So that's a bit of a nerf, which is a shame. but maybe with the mirrors in the talent trees, we'll be able to compensate that way a bit. Into the hero traits, we have Wave Aria? I don't know. Idol of the Tide, and Murmurs of the Distant Tide. The stats, crit strike, damage, crit strike, and crit strike. Pack spirits, we have Swaying Bonnie, Dreamweaver, and Cloud Gatherer Violet. Oh, level 2 chalk. Friggin' whale. Onto the slates, max channeled stacks, spell crit strike damage per stack of Focus Blessing. And yeah. All the crit strike stuff. 80% inflicted paralysis effect while holding a two-handed weapon. Damage taken. Okay. That's pretty cool. And onto this we have Burning Touch, additional cold and fire damage. That's pretty nice. And additional damage per max channel stack. Onto the talents. I don't believe I went through this. Did I? I don't think so. Spell skill level and max focus blessing stacks. We have Chili for most max focus blessing stacks, additional spell damage, and skill cast. Chance to inflict frostbite. Again, as it freezes, you are dashing everywhere, so that is godly. Crit strike rating, intelligence, focus blessing stacks, and converts physical damage to cold damage. We have Frozen Lotus up there. Elementalist, we have channeled skill damage, attack and cast speed with skill cost reduction, focus blessings, a chance to gain the other two blessings when receiving focus blessing stacks, which is constantly, and max channeled stacks up there. Maybe there's an opportunity to mirror the max channel stacks here and chuck that over here. You are losing damage for channel skills, but maybe it's worth it. Onto Lich, we have Energy Shield, Crit Strike rating, and all skills. Down the bottom we have Sealed Mana Compensation while using Off the Beaten Track. We've already had a look at the talents. We've had a look at hero traits, pack spirits, and skills, as well as the gear. Now let's have a look at the gameplay. I'll unmute. I don't know what I'm saying during this, so I guess we'll see. That is doing all of the damage and annihilating everything very quickly. I have had a 95 solo self-found hardcore character whisper me and a level 100 trade Selena. So as you can see in this, they are dashing constantly, and that is due to them freezing the enemies, which resets frigid transmission. So they are constantly dashing around. You can't really see the howling gale going around, but it's a little tornado that damages everything as you move. And it is a constant channel effect. Extremely fast gameplay and extremely fast at clearing the maps, getting your early currency, and yeah. Most of the Traveler carries will be a Selena character pretty early on, as it is so strong. But anyway, that is my probably my top 2 Triple S plus God tier characters that I would recommend at the start of any season until they are heavily nerfed into the ground, but I don't see that happening. Even with the minus max channel stacks that are getting lost from the soul candles, I think both characters will still be extremely strong next season. That's all I've got for this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.